Hey, what's going on YouTube? MarineX back at it again. Tariffs don't mean that deals don't already exist. There's already items that are accessible, or the prices, the tariffs already built into the price. And it's a little bit harder to find some of these deals, but they do still exist. Let's start off here with the Nitecore EDC 27 UHI. UHI introduces just more features, better buttons. You can get the classic. The classic's $90. But the UHI right now is normally $89.99. They got this thing dropped down to $71.96. I like this flashlight a lot. It's a little bit big in the pocket, but you're getting those additional features. You're getting better emitters. You have a really good battery life still. It feels, one thing about this is a great flashlight that can basically fit in your pocket, but it's really, really good in a pouch. 3100 lumens on the high lumen mode is a beast for something like that. You do have something like this. I have the Nitecore EDC 23, which might be on sale as well. Nitecore oftentimes will put this on sale or that on sale or whatever the case may be. But these things are fantastic, and this is a buy it now price if you've been trying to get your hands on this. My only downside on this is it absolutely does not have a removable battery, so you want to make sure that this is not the type of flashlight you stick on a pouch or stick on a strap of a bag or whatever and forget about it, because it may have depleted its own battery, and then next thing you know, you don't have a flashlight that you need. But other than that, 3100 lumens for that max, for that turbo mode works really great. That's a buy now price. Snatch that thing up. I think 2025 might be the year of the fixed blade. Kaiser's pumping out fixed blade. Kershaw is started do their fixed blade with the drop bear, now in a fixed blade form. Of course, I've talked about that. I'm gonna have to do a video of my 5 favorite small EDC fixed blades I like to carry every now and again. But the Kaiser Mini Harpoon 3V blade, still relatively easy to sharpen. I think this thing looks really, really good. It does have like this divot at the top, which is going to make it really good for those utility cuts. If you have to move your hand up onto the blade to do utility cuts on a surface or something like that, you're scoring a piece of wood, you're cutting through some foam or something like that on your workbench, that's going to be really good for that. Or if you're trying to whittle down some wood to make kindling or whatever, it might be good for that as well. CPM 3V blade still, so crucible blade still on that. It does have micarta scales, normally $59.99. 15% off makes this thing $50. That's a buy it now price. It does come with a decent sheath as well. I think that's something you may want to snatch up. You want something even smaller, go with the Kaiser deckhand. This is the D2. Normally 49 bucks. It's 15% off, puts this thing down at 41.65. Now, one thing about this is a little bit more of a fancy. I like the way that these scales look. These are G10. I kind of like this color pattern on this. They say hunting and hiking. I don't know about all that. Okay, hiking, yes. Hunting, maybe not. This one introduces a sharpening choil, which might be easier for sharpening, whereas the one before didn't necessarily have that. But it's going to be really small. You can probably put this in your front right pocket and keep it moving easily. I like to ruck. It's one of the things I like to do for working out. If you're the type of person that likes to ruck or hike or run or whatever, you can introduce something where you put a chest pack on you, and now you have something to store your cell phone in, store snacks in, whatever, whenever you get to your specific destination. Normally $25.99. You can get this thing for $20.79. That's 20% off. You may also want to just have this as one of your SHTF pack that you pull out the backseat of your truck just in case you need to rock and roll. And it's reflective on it as well, so you can try to avoid getting mowed down by a car. Or you can wear this in the gym if you don't want to always have your actual cell phone on your pants. Let's say you're wearing like basketball shorts or something like that. You don't want it to weigh down. That's a buy it now price as well. The Rolling Square In Charge X. I like to buy. There's certain brands that I always go name brand for. There's just certain brands. Okay, I have purchased the Rolling Square, the longer version of this, which is also on sale. I had to get another of the 6-inch. I think this one's only like 6 inches all together. This is a 6-in-1 charger. I keep these in my pouches, my packs, near any of my battery chargers, because my son likes his Nintendo Switch. My other son likes his iPad mini. My daughter likes her iPad. I like to let them use my cell phones. Those things die very, very quickly. $22.43. Rolling Square is a reliable brand. They have a good warranty service just in case this cord were to fail you. You can get this thing warrantied out. That's a buy now price. And the thing is, this thing does 100 watts charging, meaning that most laptops on the market, this thing can charge your laptop. I mean, imagine your laptop's running low, you're out and about or whatever, you had no clue. That might be something you want to look at as well. All three colors are on sale, so you can go snatch that up if you see fit. I just purchased another one today because at the last cheerleading event, mine grew legs. So always got to have that on deck. Streamlight Micro Stream. Now, I bought the Streamlight Micro Stream when they had this brown color down here. They've introduced new colors. I don't need it again. So one thing I want, somebody let me know, did the new colors of the Streamlight Micro Stream get rid of micro USB? Let me know. I would love to know that as well. But this is a really good flashlight, 250 lumens, $33. It's normally $41. That's a buy it now price. Especially, this is a very durable. I'm talking about this type of flashlight. You can beat it up and just tear it down. If the battery inside dies, you can always just stick your own battery inside. So that way you can keep it moving and not have to wait for this thing to actually charge up. That's a good price as well. I love Streamlight flashlights. They're very reliable, especially for everyday carry. Recently, about a month ago, I did a video talking about my EDC trauma kit, the trauma kit that I put together that stays on the back of my truck. But that pouch is by VanQuest. The pouch alone is like $50. So if you really want to try to build yourself a trauma kit, but you don't know if you want to fully invest, maybe get something like this. Okay, so this is a no-name brand, but this is going to allow for you to DIY it yourself. It's a first aid kit utility pouch. It includes medical supplies. I don't know how good any of these supplies are, but I mean, you know, for 24 bucks, normally $30, 20% off. Get the stuff, decide you don't like it, get rid of some stuff or keep it. I mean, I can imagine that the Q-tips are just going to be fine. I can imagine that the adhesive wound dressing is probably going to be fine. Maybe the stuff that's called adhesive dressing, maybe you get the real Band-Aid brand, right? Maybe you don't want to keep that stuff. Maybe you don't want to keep those scissors because they may not be the best for cutting through clothing. But that's a really good price to start off building your own kit. When it comes to this, only a few colors at this price. You can get this one, you can get the red, or you can get the coyote. Now, if you want something that's similar to the VanQuest, but you don't want to pay the VanQuest price, you can go with the One Tigris. Now, I have One Tigris for some of their Molly capable stuff. I keep on my sun visors. I just keep little pins and stuff up there. They make very good cheap stuff. Okay, the one I have is made of plastic. This thing here, it's similar to the VanQuest. It's probably not going to be as durable. Still has YKK zippers. It still has the area in the front so you can put your own shears in the very front. It still has a hook and loop on the front so you can label this as a medical pouch. Normally $26, 24% off puts this thing at $20.39. Now you can take this, build your own trauma kit, and go from there. You see how they kind of have this outfitted out. Maybe instead of saline, you put some gauzes in those side pouches. I think I like the VanQuest a little bit more, but you know, this is a good kit to start off with. The Kershaw Random Leak. The Kershaw Leak is my favorite knife to give to someone, to give to a buddy who I know is a knife guy or they have a gas station knife. I want to give them a knife. It's a Ken Onion design. It's made in America. It has a 14C28 blade steel. It has a thumb stud, has a flipper. This is a really good knife. This is the knife I normally package up together when I give a gift to some of my buddies. Father's Day is coming up. Mother's Day is coming up. This is a buy it now price. Normally $84, $79 or $78.51. It's only 7% off, but it doesn't really go down very often. It's 4 inches when closed, 7 inches when it's open. So a reverse Tanto style blade. This is a buy it now price for that knife as well. I believe you should keep a headlamp in your pouches and your kits, but you really should keep a headlamp in your vehicle. If you need to change your own tire, inflate some tires, work underneath the hood of your vehicle, jump start a car, whatever, of course you can always stick your EDC flashlights up there, your Streamlight micro streams. But if you're not wearing a hat, or if you have hair like I do, I don't wear hats very often, it might behoove you to keep a headlamp in here. Nitecore does have their NU43, 1400 lumen max output, but it does have multiple modes that you can do. This thing throws over 142 feet, charges with USB Type-C, and you can get normally $59. They have this thing reduced 20% for $47.48. That's a buy it now price. I like the fact that it's Nitecore, so it's going to be easier to warranty it. If it's an issue, you can warranty it with Amazon or you can warranty it with once your Amazon window goes away, you can warranty it directly with Nitecore. I know there's a lot of no-name brands you can buy, like Energizer and stuff like that. Get something that's going to be easy for you to get stuff replaced. I really want a solution for my CCW whenever I go to places where I can't take my gun inside. So a lot of times I leave it in my vehicle, and I had it in a lockable safe with a key, and I lost the key. So I bought this. This was on sale. I've been keeping my eye on it. It dropped down to $56, $55.99. Normally $69.99, 20% off. That was what I needed it to be. It does use biometrics. How good is it going to be? I'm going to test it out. I read the reviews. It seems to be that you can't fool it with other people's fingerprints. That's all I needed it to do. But now if I go to the State Fair of Texas, if I go to a school, if I go to wherever and I can't take my weapon inside, it really does kind of nerve me to just kind of leave it free balling inside my truck. So now I can take this, leave this in my truck, strap this to my truck, like the seat of my truck or something like that, and then keep this in there. I don't know why you would put it in a bag, bad Photoshop, but whatever. But it's about 11 inches by 7 inches. So this is going to fit in the armrest of my vehicle. This might have to go in the backseat of your vehicle if you don't have a big armrest, but I'm down with something like that. So just in case you can't take your weapon with you at all times. The AceBeam TAC 2A. Now, $24.99 is a good price. I will say this. They have it listed for $49.99. If you buy for that price, you're an idiot. It never listed for, at $49.99. This price of the orange one, $29.99, that's about where it normally lies. So $24.99, 50% off is a buy it now price. It probably will be this price again within a couple of weeks. But if you want a longer flashlight, you necessarily don't want to get that EDC 27 I showed you earlier, even though that has more lumen output. This also has dual modes. It comes with a very large built-in battery. But if that battery's dead, you can drop 2 AA batteries in this bad boy and keep using it. So that's really, really good. And I like this light as well. Now, these Lets Me Cozy Fit open ear earbuds. Let me say, I'm wearing a version of those right now. Okay. They sent these to me, and they were going to sponsor a video, and I didn't take their money for a sponsorship because I told them I need to try your headphones out. I've tried them out. I'm not going to take the sponsorship because they're not the best. All right. First off, they don't have the most clarity when you're listening to music, but they are God tier for if you like to listen to audiobooks, if you like to listen to talk radio like I do, and they have a really good microphone. And you can use these independently. Okay, so if you want to use the left earbud while the right one charges, or the right earbud while the left one charges, you can do that. I use these in the shower. I use these and just slap them on my ear. And the thing is, they sit over my ear and they don't go in my ear. That's really good. Okay, so normally $39.99. These things are $36 right now. 10% off at $35.99. They're 47% claim. These actually are pretty good to be so incredibly cheap. Buy these for your kid that's on punishment, right? You're taking their AirPods because they were doing the most in school. Buy these, give them to them. They actually might be more impressed than you think. Now, I just snatched this thing up because I mentioned earlier, I enjoy rucking. My cell phone solution for rucking is not the greatest. I don't like put it in my pocket because when I ruck, I sweat. And a lot of times sweat will just bleed down and just drench the top of my trousers, my shirt. And that's just weird. All right. So I wanted to get a cell phone holder that can go on my actual plate carrier because I ruck with a plate carrier. That's what I got this thing for. Maybe you want to put this on your bags or something else that's MOLLE capable. That's a good price for me. Normally $9.99. It's 15% off at $8.49, but I needed this. This is a solution for me. I have to be able to my family has to be able to get a hold of me if I'm rucking somewhere and I need to hear my phone. It needs to be accessible just in case I want to deviate from my route. So that's a buy it now price for me. That's why I snatched this thing up. Now, a lot of times people ask me what trousers I like to wear. I like to wear Vertex, the Delta Stretch, their Ultra Hiking solutions as well. They have 3 different lines from Vertex I like to wear. I also like to wear Columbia and 511. All 3 of those brands are much more expensive than this. Normally $45.98. This thing has dropped down to $39.08, 15% off. I like CQR's shirts. I wear them to the range when I go take my weapons to the range to put some rounds down range. So if you're trying to find a solution, you still want to get some trousers that have different options for you to put your cell phone versus having to put it in your pocket. It does have those pockets kind of built in, so you can kind of put those there, not necessarily in the normal place where I like them, but this does kind of get the job done. So that's a buy it now price. They're going to be good for working if you're woodworking, or if you just want to wear them as everyday trousers as well. We got to talk about power stations. Now, the EcoFlow, this is the thing. EcoFlow is my favorite power station brand. I really hope that EcoFlow does not make their app pay for use. I've heard hints that they're thinking about doing that. EcoFlow, that would not be good for consumers because your app is God tier and you know it. Okay, so don't do that. But the EcoFlow, this is the River 2 Pro. This is last gen. This has been replaced in essence by the River 3 Plus. But I like this. Okay, I use this to run all my video equipment. This thing has 768 watt hours. It's almost a kilowatt, but it has this boost mode, which can allow for you to start stuff that has like a compressor, like a refrigerator, something like that, that revs up way higher than 800 watts. So if you have a fridge, when you kick it on, it revs up to 1200 watts. This can handle that easily. I like the fact that it has 120s on the front, 110s on the front. It does have 3 USB A's. It only has 1 USB C. That's something that you may want to draw a pause on. But this thing is $359. Okay, it's not a bad price. But for the first time that I have seen, they're giving you a free item. If you buy this, you make sure you click the little button that says free item. It's the button right here in the middle of the screen that says get 1 free item when you purchase. Make sure you click that, right? You go over here and they're going to give you the bag that can hold this item. So if you're going to be taking this to picnics, if you're going to be taking this to camping, now you can wear this on your back instead of having to have to hold it by its handle. That's $70 of value right there. Now this thing is below $300. That is definitely about now price, and I 100% would recommend that if you were interested in it. Now, the EcoFlow River 3, $159. The River 2 is the same price. It has a bigger capacity, but I like this one because in the app, they give you way more functionality. You want to turn this thing on or off at certain times, you can do that, which I like to do. I use it to charge my e-bikes. Very, very capable for a day outing. If you're going to be going to like a park or something like that, you want to use this to run a T-ball machine or whatever. Springtime is already here. Very good price to snatch this thing up. I want to see it drop lower to some Black Friday prices, but that probably won't happen till Black Friday. So $159, normally $259. It normally hovers around $180. So you're really only saving about $30, but 39% off the list price is a buy it now price as well. The EcoFlow Delta 3. Okay. The Delta 3 runs my coffee mess, my kettle. It runs a lot of shit, okay? And the thing about this is I have not seen it drop to $529. The normal sale price of the Delta 3 is $619. So they've dropped this to $529. So that's already something I haven't seen. But they're also giving you the bag that holds this, and that bag's worth $100. This thing now is, in essence, $429. That's about now price. This is a 1 kilowatt unit. It runs easily at 1800 watts. When I turn my kettle on and I turn my grinder on in my espresso machine, those things easily go over 200 watts when they turn on. This thing can handle it. It rarely trips whenever I do that. The inverter, it can handle it very, very easily. 6 plugs on this bad boy, 2 USB-Cs. Both of them are fast charging at 100 watts, means you can charge your laptops and stuff very, very quickly. Fast charging USB-A's at 18.5 watts. God tier app. I'm a big fan of the Delta 3. Can't say enough about it. And then last thing I want to talk about is the Bougie RV. Bougie RV sent this out to me, and I saw the Dental was talking about using these fridges when you go out and about. And I didn't even think about, I do that as well. So imagine you have a day full of shit to do. You already have one of these power stations, or you just want to plug this into the DC port of your vehicle, which can handle up to 8 amps normally. You can plug this thing up, and this thing can freeze stuff up to -8 below. So if you need to go to Costco or Sam's Club or to the grocery store and buy stuff that's frozen or perishable, you can put it in this, and then your whole day's not ruined. You can also go to the mall, or you can go to a practice, or you can go do something else. I like that. This thing's normally $290. They've dropped it down to $220 for this specific black one. I don't know why the black and gray one is more, and I don't know why the all gray one is more, but the all black one, is $220, 24% off. That's a buy it now price as well. The deals do still exist, but you do have to hunt for them, okay? And I'm going to try to hunt for them. If this is your first time stopping by, subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you part of the battalion, because tomorrow I'm going to talk to you about these tariffs and are we going to get exemptions for steel and aluminum like folks have got exemptions for smartphones and computer chips and TVs? I'm very curious about that. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.